Wow. We are live now. I'm waiting for the chats to start up. I'm not sure if this is working right. I don't see any comments from anyone, so it says 11 people are waiting. Maybe I should open this up in a different browser. Sorry, I'm just, of course, having a little slight technical delays because I'm on my wife's laptop in the country, away from my main computer, which is why I'm not doing a proper video with this. I'm just using the live function here. Anyway, I guess we'll just get started, and anyone who's really interested in this can. Here we go. Everyone, can you see me? Can you see me okay? Can you see me okay? Let me just get this out of the way. Okay, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Victor. I live in Japan. I've lived here in Japan for 26 years. I'm married to a Japanese, married 10 years, wow. And I guess I thought I've been vlogging or making videos on YouTube for 10 years, but I think it's more like 11 years. And I'm on vacation. I'm out in the country at my in-laws' house. And this is the kitchen dining area, and everyone's upstairs sleeping. It is 2 a.m. now, and I've literally gotten about 10 messages from subscribers asking me what I think about this. And I've talked it over with my in-laws, and I did a little research on this. I didn't want to just I like drama. I like talking about things like this a little bit, but I wanted to give you a thoughtful reaction. So I did a little research. I talked to some Japanese about this to give you an overall opinion, a more well-balanced opinion. And I didn't want to just knee-jerk react. I noticed Logic Cost, one of my subscribers, pointed out that a lot of people are making their I'm a good guy video because I don't like Logan Paul kind of stuff. But I don't know Logan Paul. Maybe I've seen him on Vine. I used to really enjoy Vine. Maybe I've seen him on Vine a couple of times. I don't know. But I thought I'd look into it. So let's back up a little bit. And for those of you who don't know, where have you been if you don't know? First of all, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I was going to do this video earlier. It's 2 a.m. now, but I was watching TV tonight. I was watching What's Your Name, or Kimi no Nawa in Japanese, which is a big hit in Japan, and it's a big hit if you're an anime person. And they broadcast it for the first time ever on Japanese TV, and it was just, everyone was just, the whole family was here, all my in-laws and cousins, my wife's cousins and stuff, my children's cousins and brothers and sisters. Anyway, the whole family. This room was packed, and everyone was enjoying it. Everyone usually goes to bed because we have infants. Goes to bed about 10 p.m. 9 p.m. By 10 p.m. they got to be asleep. But people were up today until like 11:30. So I got a little bit delayed on this video. But by the way, if you haven't seen Kimi no Na wa, or What's Your Name, the anime, it's a very touching anime. And I'm not a big anime fan. You guys have watched me before know that I'm not a big anime fan, but a very good movie. I gotta admit, brought tears to my eyes. It brought tears to my eyes. I'm one of those guys. But anyway, that's what delayed this video. And let's get past this. Are you getting into streaming, or have you been missing your post? No. I'm on vacation. I'll be answering questions as I go. I'm at my in-laws' house now, so this is the best way to communicate because I don't have any good editing equipment here. I have a tiny. Well, you can't. I was about to show you. I'm about to show you this computer. Turn it around, which is impossible. Oh, you know what? There is a way to do it. You know what? You could do it because I have a camera running just in case. Let me show you what I can do. Let me show you. Can you see that? Can you see that little? Can you see yourself there? Yeah. So that's what you're seeing now. I think. I hope I did that right. Anyway. So that I have a little tiny laptop. It's actually fairly old, but it works really well. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's get into this this talk here. How long have you been streaming? First of all, a little education. So Logan Paul is all this information about Logan Paul I just learned tonight. So I'm not a big fan. I never watched him before. So Logan Paul is apparently a 22-year-old Hollywood resident. Comes from Ohio. He's 6'2", 200 pounds, big buff, handsome blonde fella with formidable teeth, I would say. It looks like, got good choppers on him. He has a bird named Maverick, and that's what I've learned about him today. And he's a big YouTube star. He came over from the Vine, what do you call it? All the Viners came over last year, I guess. He's only been on YouTube. I get a little information for it. He's had his channel since 2015, but he's only been on YouTube since September 12th, 2016. Yeah, he came 2015, but he started uploading 2016, September 12th. I remember that because my birthday is September 11th. So anyway, hey Akina. So here's the point. In about a year and 3 months or so, he's accumulated, he's attracted, he's fooled $15 million. Okay, Crystalline, we're getting to that. Okay, once let me talk here. Okay, you want to make a video, you make a video. So we will get to that. It's a good point though, but let me expand on that a little bit. All right, because you might be wrong. Anyway, he has 15 million. No, how many subscribers does he have? I think I forgot that part. I better look that up. Logan Paul, I think he has 15 million subscribers. And I think he's worth $15 million, right? So is that coincidental? That's not usually how it works, by the way. Let me see. Let me double check that, because I might have mixed up the number. He has 15.3 million subscribers, and yeah. Anyway, whatever. So he makes, he had 302 million views in the last month. And to give you an idea, I've been doing YouTube for 11 years, and I have 54 or so million views, which is not a bad number, but nothing. I mean, that's like a week for him, right? So, so there you go. That's how popular he is. And a lot of people would say I'm a decent sized vlogger, but anyway. So that's the information. Now, since this scandal, according to Social Blade, he's actually still gaining. He's not dropping subs at all. No. Looking at Social Blade right now, he's gained 1 million subscribers in the last 1.1 million subscribers in the last month, and that's important because that we'll talk about that why that's important a little bit later. Okay. Anyway, so according to Forbes, he's worth $12.7 million. According to other people, he's worth $50 million. I will tell you this: I know how much roughly 1 million views is worth, and it's worth at least $1,000. Okay, so if you're getting 300 million views a month, you're making at least $300,000 a month. Multiply that by 12, and you've got what is that? 300, that's $30 million a year, right? Is that right? Is that right? Yeah, 10. Yeah, so that's a lot of money. And that doesn't even count his, because that guy. Here's the way YouTube works, by the way. If you make the views quickly, you make more money. So I've got quite a few videos of over 1 million views each, but they grow slowly, or over 6 months. Like I have one of my best videos this year has got 1.4 million views over 6 months, and it's made $2,000. Okay, to give you an idea, and that's rare for me. Okay, but imagine he's getting that in one day. His apology video, which is not monetized, but just to show you, his apology video has $14 million. The point is, he's making a lot of money. That's important because YouTube. That means YouTube is making a lot of money too. Because remember, YouTube keeps, I believe they keep 40% or so. Just to make it, to round it down, you can say 50%. So 50% of it is YouTube money, 50% is his. So when we say that Logan Paul, I'll keep on saying Paul Hogan, Logan Paul. That shows my age, right? when we talk about his money making ability, that's not just his money, it's YouTube's money. And when he does something like that, it affects everybody because YouTube is going to probably have to change some policies due to this, and that's going to screw everybody. Okay. Yeah, YouTube is supposed to get 40%. But anyway, again, it depends on the video, depends how quickly it grows, depends on the length of the video. Longer videos sometimes get a little bit more money than shorter videos, et cetera, et cetera. There are a lot of factors involved. Okay, so that's a general idea about who is Logan Paul. He's a fairly new vlogger who's made a lot of money in a very short amount of time. Okay, and that's important. Okay, now before we go on this, by the way, this is not a kick in the nuts type of video. I'm not going to be kicking anyone in the nuts, theoretically speaking, or metaphorically speaking. We're going to be talking about Aoki. You can check the description for things I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the forest, so you get a little background about that. We're going to talk about a Vice video that came up. Logan Paul, we already talked about that. We're going to talk about a couple other things here. Reina Scully, who I never heard of before, but apparently she's a huge J vlogger, like I am, lives in Japan. I've had 2 kids in the last, not me personally, you know, but my family and I in the last 3 years. So I'm really busy with kids. I haven't had time to keep up with J vlogging and stuff. And I want to talk about some guy named, who I do know. What's this guy's name? Oh, I forgot his name. The chubby guy. He's obese by his own admission. What's his name? Oh God, Boogie 2988 or something like that. Okay. Anyway, there's links to all that in the description. So let's go back. I just forgot it. Aokigahara. If I think of the Japanese, I can do it. Aokigahara is a forest in Japan, and it's become infamous worldwide, and it's known as the suicide forest. You probably all know. You probably don't know that it's also called the Sea of Trees, and that it was they had a lava explosion about 500 years ago or so, whatever. And the whole area is covered in lava, and as a result, the lava dampens, creates some kind of like a sound absorption, like padding on a sound room. So the forest is extremely quiet. Okay. Now something else, a little history here. Okay. Remember, this is not a kick in the balls video. A little history here. That forest is, they think, may be known as a suicide forest, not because of a few books that popularized this idea, but because there is a kind of old wives' tale or a kind of a legend in Japan of something called Ubasute or Obasute or Oyasute. And those words roughly mean old woman, throwing away old woman, throwing away an old woman, or throwing away your parents. Sute means throw away, and Oya means parents. Oba or Ube also. Ube, I believe, is like your grandma, and Oba is like your mom. Obasan or aunt or something, but anyway, old woman. So the idea is when you're too old and you become a burden to your family, and you basically, you know, your family's too poor to support you, they will drag you out into the forest, or to a mountain, and leave you there, and you know you become worm food. You know, just the elements of they let the elements take care of you. And there's an old romantic story about a young man who carries his grandma up into the forest, and she doesn't want him to get lost. I mean, she knows why she's going there. They're going to dump her, right? They're going to leave her up there, and she knows why they're taking her up there. So she breaks branches of trees as she's on his back, right? So she's breaking branches of trees off limbs, and she's dropping them along the path so he can find his way back. That's the story. So, I mean, it's a very kind of a heroic thing for her, right? Like, she cares about her son so much that even though he's dragging her up into the mountain to throw her away, she's going to help him get back and not get lost in the forest. So anyway, and apparently there's a classic movie about that. I don't know that. But I've seen, I remember when I was first studying Japanese 26 years ago, driving to Kyoto and passing a place called Obasute, and I was like, doesn't that mean like throw away your grandma, right? Anyway, so there you go. So that's what that place is. And until about 2010, I believe, they used to count the number of dead people, right? And who committed suicide every year, and it's anywhere from, it's about 100 a year, about 100 people a year. There was one year, I think in 2006, where 200 people attempted, only 54 actually succeeded. But they stopped counting because they don't want to encourage people to become a statistic. I don't know exactly why that would encourage anyone. Now, Reina Scully says it's not a tourist attraction. I would agree with her on an international scale, but apparently it's a place that is a tourist attraction in Japan, and people go there, and they'll bring their kids. Like it's a place like a day trip, field trip type of place. Schools take their kids there apparently, and everyone knows about it. Okay, so anyway, yes, so that's the history on the Aokigahara Forest. Okay, now let's move on to the next subject, which is, let me see anything else here. Yeah, now someone emailed me and said, I don't understand what the big deal is, because Vice video, and I've got a link to, I don't know if I have a, I may not have the link, but you can find it easy. Vice video did a video on the Aokigahara Forest, and they actually show 3 dead bodies in it. Now the tone of the video is completely different, and there's no like bullshit about it. It's you, when you click on the video, it's going to be about that. Now another point to make is that the Vice video is age restricted, or they call it age gated. So only older people will see it, and because of that, it has limited advertising on it as well. Yeah, so the Logan, what's his name again? Logan Paul, yeah, Logan Paul video is monetized, was monetized, and I believe, was it? I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know. It's a little bit different, and the tone is definitely different, and it's definitely insulting. And you can still see it on TMZ, by the way, if you want to see the video. I would say don't see it. Don't see it. It's no point. But it's on TMZ. They show you enough of it that you can see pretty easily that it's very different from the Vice video. They are not reverent at all, and it's not mysterious at all, and it's not documentary. It's not a documentary at all. The Vice video has a very serious tone, and they basically interview one guy whose job it is to patrol the forest and look for dead bodies. So look for it. It's the Aokigahara Suicide Forest video by Vice, V-I-C-E. Very different. Anyway, and they talk about a lot of that stuff. Okay, so let's go to Paul Hogan. Paul Hogan? No. Logan Paul, excuse me. God damn, I can't remember his name. So he's a rich, young, 22-year-old guy who's suddenly become so rich that he can buy a $6.6 million house in Calabasas, wherever the hell that is. I don't know where that is. He's grown extremely quickly, so that wealth has just popped into him, come so quickly that it's easy to understand how, combined with his youth, and I'm not apologizing for him. I'm just saying, I'm not surprised. He's dumb, he's young, and he got a lot of money quickly, and he's very ambitious. One video I did see was his first vlog, which is not important actually, forget about that. His first vlog was posted on September 12, 2016, I've said that. But there's another video that's telling, it's called Reacting to Myself Before I Was Famous, and it was published on May 3rd, 2017. And in it he says, I'm going to be the biggest entertainer in the world. And he's actually watching some guy talk about him in a news, kind of entertainment news program. And he's like, yes, that's right, I'm gonna do it, thanks for believing in me. And you can see from that quote that he's very ambitious. And let's look at society now. I mean, who are the biggest stars these days? It's people that I have trouble remembering, the Kardashians. It took me a long time to even figure out which one was Kim. Yeah, so that's the world that we live in now. The world that rewards things like this. Shock value, right? And you can say it's not new, but I think it's much worse than it is now. Do I think the Logan Paul video isn't fake? I think it's not fake, but Uh, Boogie says it might be fake, and if it's fake, then it's even worse. But I would say no, it's just stupid. It's stupider. It's not worse though. Okay. Now I wanted to open this video with why so serious? Because although what Paul does is pretty crude, pretty rude, pretty crass, whatever you want to call it, you know, let's be honest here. The people are saying, well, his family must feel so terrible that they saw that, and he insulted the dead guy. Well, come on, let's be fair. The guy's dead. I mean, I'm sure he didn't want to be in the video, but the guy's dead. He's not hurting a dead guy. The guy's dead, and the chances are the family probably would never have seen that video or did not see that video until the media got involved and started talking about it. Because unfortunately, that's another problem. Another problem here that I think I don't know exactly the solution is that, okay, shock value sells, and if you want to be cutting edge and if you want to be a leader, you've got to push the envelope. And I guess Paul, the 22-year-old Paul, dumb, young, dumb, and full of cum, you know, trying, as ambitious as he is, maybe he felt the pressure. That's what I got to do to be number one, do crazy shit like this. Again, I'm not excusing him or apologizing for him because I don't know him at all, but I don't care about him. But I'm trying to understand, you know, why someone would do that. And part of it is society. And if you think about it, no one would have seen that video if the media hadn't been retweeting it, if we hadn't been retweeting it everywhere. So there is a good chance that the family of that dead guy who hung himself has actually seen the video now, thanks to us and the media. Now, of course, I'm not saying the media shouldn't report stuff like that, but did they have to do you have to really re-upload the video? One of the things we're trying to do, and this is another problem, is I know a lot of people want to shame this guy, right? And this is a big thing these days, right? Someone does something wrong, you want to destroy him. Like there's some guy who's walking with whatnot. Again, I'm not defending anything. I'm not defending these people who do stupid things, but someone does something wrong on the internet. Like I'll give you an example. Some stupid woman, I think Tennessee or something, said, "Oh, it's great that Melania is now the wife of the president, because we finally have someone decent in the White House," right? Instead of an ape in heels, referring to Michelle Obama, right? And what did they do? They try to get her fired, right? And that's a stupid thing to say, but the way that people react is just, I don't think it's better. That's what I'm saying. Trying to shame, what's his name again? Logan Paul. Trying to shame him doesn't make you a better person, and reposting his video is actually probably hurting the family more than him at this point. I don't think it, you know, he posted it in the first place. So I don't believe he was exactly just laughing at the corpse. Well, I didn't think he was respectful about the corpse at all. I mean, I saw the video. And I guess, you know, I mean, that's another thing. Is like you want the chance to judge him, right? So you want to see that video and say, yeah, this is what I think about it. And yeah, and there's something called selective outrage that people do talk about, that does exist. You know, death sells and stupidity sells, and people who are super successful, everyone is just waiting to pounce on this guy and destroy him at any chance. That anything he does wrong, they're going to destroy him. You know, so that's something else to take into account. Let me see. Yeah, well, I haven't seen his videos. I've only seen a couple of his vines and two of his videos. So I don't know about him, but I do know that he's 22 years old, and I know that people do stupid things at 22, very stupid things when they're young, and even stupider when you get a lot of money really quick, and when you're in a very competitive market like he is right now, trying to be, as he said, the biggest entertainer in the world. So yeah. Now, I saw that celebrities like Aaron Paul and from Breaking Bad and Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones called him like human scum, and told him to rot in hell. I don't think that really hurts the guy. If anything, it helps him, you know, by paying attention to him. So that's one of the problems with something like this, is that so many people are paying attention to him. I think it's actually helping him in a way. And I think a guy like that probably isn't bothered by that kind of attention, negative attention, because he's, you know, I'm 22. I don't think. Okay. Well, you know, I was thinking about that. I'm 22, and I don't think age is an excuse at this age. Well, you're an adult, and if you do something at 22, you're responsible for your actions, of course. But when you become older, you realize what an idiot you were at 22. But when you get older, you'll see that, well, I'm sure you're going to do something this year that when you're older, you'll say, well, Victor was right. I did a stupid thing, and I was 22. I mean, it's not, again, not a not good enough excuse, but it's something. How you doing? Okay, so again, not to excuse him, but I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. Yeah, Live Leak is full of that crap. And nobody complains about Live Leak, and people post that shit all the time on Live Leak. Now they don't. The difference is that they don't become superstars posting that stuff. Like, he's posting that stuff, and he's making a living off being stupid, right? But so are the Kardashians, aren't they? I mean, do they have any talent at all, except what, being good looking and nice bodies? I don't know. I mean, am I wrong? Kanye West, at least he can do something, you know, with he had musical talent, but the Kardashians, no. Anyway, so about that. Now, the other thing that I wanted to touch upon was Reina Scully's video. Now I feel like I should apologize first, because I don't know who she is. I've never seen her before, and apparently she's a very big YouTuber. She's got about 300,000, 200,000 or so subscribers, and has made quite a few good videos, but whatever. She talks about whether what's his name, Logan Paul's attitude will affect the way foreigners are seen in Japan. They're not. Yeah, and I agree with her on that. They're not. But she kind of implied that the Japanese, it won't improve it or worsen it, which kind of made me feel like Japanese already don't like foreigners as it is. I don't know. I'm not sure. She has boobs. I didn't know that. But I don't know who she is. So but I saw something flash on my Twitter, and I couldn't find her again because I didn't get the name. And I just remember blonde Asian, because that's the only thing I can remember. That's how I referred to her, and someone found her immediately. So, oh, you mean this girl? So anyway. Yeah, so the other thing that kind of annoyed, well, not annoyed, her vlog was very good, but she said he should do it in America. And I thought, why? Why would you want him to do that anywhere? You shouldn't do what he did in any country. But to be fair, whoops, what happened here? But to be fair, there's a lot of weird attitudes about death all over the world. There are some countries where people, after you die, they pose you in like taxidermy your butt. You know, they stuff you and they leave you there, and you can, and for years, like, people actually have you like sitting in the corner for years. I mean, I forgot what country it was. I want to say Indonesia, but I'm not sure. That's really fucked up. I saw TMZ. Yeah, I'm not going to be on TMZ. So the attitudes toward death around the world are very different. And a good friend of mine's wife's father died 3 days ago. Or, yeah, 4 days ago, right before New Year's. And because it's so busy right now, they don't have anywhere to put the body. So they're leaving the body in the house, just on dry ice. And this happened to a friend of mine who died here in Japan. His body was just sitting on dry ice in the house. And that's creepy. I mean, that's cringy. That's weird, but that's the way people do it. Right? Now about your YouTube rules, okay? Well, here's the thing about that. Here's the weird thing about that. I don't know his other videos, so I'm only judging. I'm only looking at this one video. Should YouTube delete him completely? I don't know. I think YouTube has deleted people for less in the past. But the truth is, in the past, YouTube wasn't making this kind of money. And if he's made, what was it, 15? Let's say he's made $30 million for himself. Then he's made YouTube that much too, and that's a lot of money. And YouTube is on the edge of making, of being in the black. I don't know if you guys know this, but YouTube has been in the red for years, and has not been making money on paper. But the actual platform is so powerful. It's like what, the third or fourth highest ranked site in the world. That the potential there is just it's economically unmeasurable. I mean, it's just, the potential is just incredible. It's infinite. So it's okay if YouTube doesn't actually make money, but they have pressure to make money, of course. They want to look good. And one of the criticisms of YouTube is that they should just have erased them, but it's not that easy, because one of the things that YouTube does, which is very much what Facebook does a lot, is they depend on the users to create, to police the site themselves a bit by flagging each other and making the content as well. That's what Facebook does, right? That's why you're on Facebook. You're on Facebook to see all your friends' comments and posts and shares and all that crap. Same thing on YouTube. But on YouTube, they have something called a trusted flagger. And I'm a Nagoya ambassador, which I was very honored that they chose me. I'm pretty sure they asked someone else before me, but maybe nobody wanted to do it. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So I'm the Nagoya representative of YouTube as an ambassador, but it doesn't mean I speak for YouTube at all, and I get no benefits, except they give me a nice sweatshirt once in a while and some really cool swag. But I was invited to a big YouTube meeting, an international YouTube meeting in San Francisco last September. Not this past September, the year before that. And they had a bunch of people who came who were not content creators. I'm a content creator, but they had a lot of people who came who were not content creators, but they were people who were trusted flaggers. Okay? What that means is there are people who, this sounds almost creepy, but all they do is look for videos that deserve flagging, and they flag them. And a lot of those videos that they flag, you might think, well, that's just creepy, right? But a lot of them they're looking for the really bad stuff, like child pornography and acts of violence and animal cruelty and things like that. And so they're actively looking for stuff like that. But it's also, I guess they're also flagging people who upload flaggers, not flaggers. People who upload copyright material, movies and stuff like that, things like that. There's a lot of spamming on YouTube. If you try to find, when I tried to find the new Avengers trailer, they were like 100 fakes up there, which is just really annoying. And they're the people who take care of that. They're called trusted flagger. And I think after if you flag enough videos, you become a trusted flagger. And when you become one of the top trusted flaggers, you get benefits, like they actually fly you to YouTube to meet other ones and have conferences, and you have special meetings online and stuff. Now, right now, the trusted flagger program is still in beta, and there's a waiting list for it. So if you wanted to even become one, it'd be tough. Right? And when we were at the conference in San Francisco, there were a lot of questions. I can't talk about this too much, but there was a lot of questions about that, and that's why it's still in beta, because it's not. They still have a lot of questions that they have to. There's a banana peel behind me. Yeah. This is a banana. These are bananas. I'm in my in-laws' kitchen. But yeah, trusted flaggers seem like tattletales or something, but they do a good job, and YouTube depends on them. Because it's impossible to police all of YouTube's material. That's the other thing you guys got to remember. Like, what is it? It's every year it gets more and more. It's like 1,800. I don't even know what it is, but 1,800 hours of video gets uploaded to YouTube every minute or something. It's just crazy. There's no way any staff could keep up with it. There was a really interesting blog about this years ago too. They were paying people in the Philippines to watch videos and decide whether they should be removed. And a lot of those videos are really fucked up videos, guys. Those are people who, I mean, there's sexual abuse and child abuse and animal abuse. And if you spend all day watching that crap, it's gonna screw you up. Those people needed therapy afterwards. And I've talked to people, I can't give you names, but I've talked to people, and yeah, they say it's a really tough job to do. So the trusted flagger, they're doing YouTube a big favor by finding those videos and reporting them. Now, why wasn't Logan Paul's video flagged immediately? I don't know. You know, maybe it's because his audience is apparently, from what I've heard, I don't know, very, very young, and they thought it was cool, or maybe they thought it was okay, but because the guy's face was blacked out. You know, I don't know. Honestly, you know, I think I don't know enough about Logan Paul. I think that he should be, you know, punished for it, because I didn't see any educational value in that video. But again, I don't know if you should ban him for just one video. Now, people said to me on Twitter, "Oh, but all his videos are like this. They're all shocking and terrible." Do you know if Logan Paul will be banned from entering Japan in the future? I doubt it. I really doubt it. I don't think. Oh yeah. So here's the thing. I asked my in-laws, my brother-in-law, and my wife about this. I said, "Well, what do you think he should do?" Because I said I told her that I thought he should be. They should not just erase. They shouldn't just. You know. Okay. Just back up. There is already a system in place on YouTube. If you make mistakes, you can be banned for 6 months. Well, first of all, you get a warning. I think after the second warning, you're not allowed to upload at all for 6 months. But your channel is still monetized. So in a case like this, though, I think they should ban him for a certain amount of time, which YouTube can decide. You know, I mean, I'm not the judge here, but they should ban him and demonetize his whole channel. It's a hard decision, because if you know, the truth is, money. If you want to know the reason for almost anything in the world, it's usually money, religion, love, and then dickishness. Okay, in this case, it's money and dickishness. If they can demonize PewDiePie, yeah. Well, no, I don't know about that. Logan Paul. Can you really judge people for being just stupid? I don't know. PewDiePie said the N-word, and it came out of his mouth pretty casually, like nothing. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, in this world, in this day and age, it's a strange society where we I mean, come on, President Trump is a reality star. We elected a reality star as our leader in America, where YouTube was founded, right? I mean, that's the way the world works right now. I mean, this is the atmosphere. This is the society that Logan Paul has grown up in. Right? That's not what I grew up in, but that's what he grew up in. So, it's difficult for me to judge him, knowing that that's the society he grew up in. With the Kardashians are stars. You know, it's bizarre. Yeah, anyway, let's see. Yeah, so our culture trivializes death, but it uses it to sell, and that goes again to the newspapers and the media. I saw 3 articles today that promised me some deep new information about the Logan Paul controversy, but they were nothing. They were just basically the same 3 articles with different titles. They're basically spam. Why do they do that? You know, and then places like TMZ just reposting it again. How does that help anybody? So they're selling, you know, they're making money. It's the same thing. And you know what? Who's reading it? We are. We as a society made Logan Paul. So it's kind of hypocritical for everyone to be like, "Oh, this is terrible. This is bad," when we made him. Anyway. Yeah, Cal Apprentice, it doesn't matter. You're one person. Society does not allow you to say the N-word. That's the way it is, okay? We could have a big debate about the N-word, but the truth is you cannot say the N-word. And you know, and fake news does exist a little bit. But the other thing about fake news is that it's not all fake news, but there is something true that there is one thing that Trump says, which is very true, which is they're just looking for anything that they can get on him, even if it's tiny, like whatever Melania wore. Any little thing that they can get on him, they're going to use to try to destroy him because they hate Trump. And I'm not a big Trump fan at all. I think Trump is an idiot. But when I read some of the articles about Trump, like, seriously? Come on, you've got nothing better to... I mean, there's so many things you can say about Trump. I see all these articles that are just targeting minor things about Trump. Things that he did in the past, years ago. Like, I saw something yesterday about his airline. Who cares about his airline? We've already established that he's gone out of business many times. So the same thing with this Logan Paul. One of his problems is that he's extremely popular. And people are waiting to pounce on him. Any little thing he does. People hate success, especially people like that who are successful for things that look like anybody can do. It looks like anybody can do that kind of crap. And PewDiePie, for all, you can defend him all you want, but if he is so internet savvy, he should have been smart enough not to make Nazi jokes and not to make the N-word slip up. He's got only himself to blame, okay? I don't care how harmless you think it is. If he's so smart, which he apparently is, right? The other thing that the other reason I don't think you should blame, I don't think you should ban, excuse me, you should blame, but you shouldn't ban Logan Paul immediately forever, is because obviously the kid has something. Come on, 15 million subscribers in a year? That's weird. That's something. The kid's got something. And I would say, yeah, slap his hand, slap his wrist, slap his ass, kick him in the balls, financially speaking. But the kid's got something, I don't know what it is because I haven't seen his videos, but he's obviously talking. There's something in him that resounds with society. Anyway. Yeah, nigger and Negro are not the same thing, stream. Let's not get off on that topic. That's another thing. Anyway, do you think Logan Paul has had a negative impact for guys like yourself? Oh, okay, let's go back to that. No, I don't, because people in Japan either love foreigners or hate foreigners already. It doesn't matter. Or actually, no. Actually, they're mostly indifferent to foreigners. Nobody cares anymore. Okay. When I first came here 26 years ago, we were actually kind of... Yeah, I remember he was famous online. Hey, Aka-san, good to see you, man. Mostly they're indifferent. Now, when I came here 26 years ago, oh my God, he's a foreigner. But now people don't really, it's not a big deal. Yes, resounds with society is not inherently a good thing, but it's not inherently a bad thing. And I'd like to see where it goes, I wouldn't ban it for just one. Aka-san's in the comments. Aka-san is a great blogger. But where were we talking about? Oh, sorry. Back to Logan, back to grassroots. Yeah, I think he's got something. I'd like to see what it is. I would say why, ban him on AdSense for 3 months or so. Punish him. Oh yeah, so I asked my wife. I said, what do you think you should do? Like shave his head or something? Like that's something that sometimes people do in Japan. If they do something bad, they shave their heads. And she's like, don't you think it's worse than shaving your head? I said, yeah, you're right. That wouldn't help at all. And he might like it, right? I mean, it could be a thing. So I think there is a way he could take care of this. I would say shave your head and seriously donate like $10 million to some suicide prevention line, like 10 million bucks or something, or sell your house and donate that to a suicide prevention line. If you did that, I think that'd be pretty hard for anyone, even if you're cynical, to say, well, I don't believe you anymore. But Boogie, what's his name, 2988 or something, Boogie 2988 says he thought that he was pure at heart when he put up that video because he put links to suicide stuff. I said, I don't think so. I think he was just trying to cover his ass. I don't believe the sincerity there. But again, that's my job as an internet viewer, to judge you on one video. And that's the other thing. People just love judging people that they don't even know. A lot of people judge me all the time. Oh yeah, and society, yes. We don't, as a group of people on the internet, and remember, he interacts with the internet just like I'm interacting with you. How many times has someone told me, or a ton of my friends on YouTube, to go kill themselves? Aka-san, he's there right now. Go kill yourself. Go be an unhero. Maybe you know that internet expression. We get those comments all the time as if it's nothing. So the internet acts you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't pretend like death is nothing and then tell people on the internet to go kill themselves. It happens all the time. And you guys heard about that swatting incident? Yes, that's what I said, unhero. You heard about the swatting incident just a few days ago? Some guy swatted a friend or someone who's not a friend, someone he was playing. And his defense was, I didn't do anything. I don't have a gun. It's not my fault. Completely lacking any responsibility or even the semblance of responsibility. He didn't think he did anything wrong at all. Because that's the way the internet teaches us, to be dicks like that. So, yeah, it's cool to, well, Trump is hurting people, I think. But Logan is just, I mean, honestly, who did he really hurt? He's an idiot. I completely agree with you. And it's frustrating when you see idiots like that make a lot of money. And I guess the gut reaction is to want them to fall. People love to see people like that fail. But he's not really hurting anyone, and he's only successful because of us as a group, because of society. So, we're not going to get into Trump. It's my opinion that Trump is a plague on society. Okay, that's not the subject of this video. We can talk about this some other time at his 1 year anniversary. Okay. Anyway, we can just disagree on Trump for now. What else did I want to tell you? Ask you about? Let me see. Reina Scully, she says Logan Paul's not at, Logan Paul is not at fault alone. Oh yeah. I don't know if I got this from there, but another problem with Logan Paul's whole thing was, if you watch the video, one reason I don't believe his sincerity was when he's talking about his reaction, all his buddies are jumping into the shot to get in the shot. I don't believe it. Those people are just idiots. It's hard to believe that people are trying to be sincere about how seriously they consider suicide when they're trying to jump into the shot. I think it's pretty ridiculous. So I don't believe he's sincere, but I also agree with Boogie that he needs to hire someone to take care of that. The other problem, or the other question I have is, isn't this Logan Paul guy, doesn't he have some kind of some manager or something to control him? I mean, all those people on his team, they're all at fault. It isn't just him. He may be a dumb 22-year-old kid. He might be the boss, but there must have been somebody on his team that said, don't you think we shouldn't have done this? And maybe not. Maybe he's one of those people who surrounds himself with people who just want to be as stupid as he is and do maybe anyone with any brains left him already. Who knows? So, oh yeah. So do Japanese care about this stuff? My wife thought it was terrible. My wife said that he should erase himself from the internet. That would be her solution. He should erase himself. They wrote the real apology. Akasan. Yeah, Akasan probably knows. Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's a mistake to try to jump on the bandwagon and just say, oh, he should be erased. My wife thinks that, but she doesn't know what he did. But because you know what, it has nothing to do with him, because that's what you do in Japan. There was a guy, I forgot what he was called. He was a huge success in Japan for years. I think it was a show called Waratte Itomo was the name of the show. And he always wore sunglasses. It wasn't Tamori, it was another guy. No, it wasn't. He didn't wear sunglasses, but he had a really pucked face. Anyway, they found out he had a connection to Yakuza. Just a very vague connection. He would hang out with Yakuza, right? That was it. But when it came out, his solution and his was apologize and completely vanished, even though he was #1. It was almost what is happening now in America with the sexual scandals. When they find out you did something wrong. You have oh my God, I can't remember, Louis C.K. He did that thing, he got consent and masturbated and all that, and he basically erased himself. I mean, how long is that going to last? I don't know. But this guy, he was #1 for years, or one of the top entertainers. It would be like Stephen Colbert erasing himself, or Jimmy Kimmel. They would come out one day and say, hey, I'm sorry, I have connections to about the allegations. So goodbye. And he just faded away. just disappeared. So I told my wife about this incident when it came out, because I started getting emails immediately, like, do a video about it. But I'm like, I'm in this place right now. I can't do. This is the best I can do. I can't really shoot a video. And I told them about it, and they're like, oh, that's weird, huh? I see. But they weren't that interested, or that, they didn't hear anything about it. However, just today, my wife is reading Yahoo in Japanese, yahoo.co.jp, and she goes, oh, this is the story you told me about. Same thing happened about the blackface. Maybe you guys know about the blackface scandal, which I was actually thinking about doing a video on that too, but I just don't know. Anyway. Really? Tatsuji Yoshimura. I believe this is a guy who doesn't like me, but that's fine, whatever. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I would say, it's easy to hate on a successful person like that. I would say, I don't think that's necessarily the solution. The guy should probably be penalized, monetarily speaking, and he should donate a lot of money publicly to some suicide hotline, so everyone will see that he's a good guy, and that's the only way he can really redeem himself. The Japanese people are not going to remember him or care about this in another week or so. Oh, and then someone wrote on someone else's video. They said, "Well, what about?" Oh yeah, it was on Logan Paul's video. They said, "Erase yourself. No one will miss you." And people are like, "Oh, they're gonna miss him. Of course we'll miss him." No, no one will even remember this in a week. One of his defenders says, "No one will remember this in a week. It'll just it will have been a scandal that made him stronger than ever." Thank you, Asher. And then someone wrote, "What about Amanda Todd?" And I started thinking, that sounds familiar. Do you remember Amanda Todd? Have I ever said I don't like you? You are as clueless as usual. Well, there you go. You just supported my... that doesn't sound like someone who likes me, Tatsuji. I could have you confused with someone else, but I'm pretty sure you're the one who always writes dickish comments on my... but please, go ahead. Amanda Todd. And I started thinking, what happened to that poor girl? She was the girl who put up the pictures of herself holding signs, and she was getting bullied. She's like, I'm going to stay strong. And she put up the what do you call it? Little little cards, and started showing her story. It's all music playing in the background. Anyway, long story short, she killed herself. And it turns out this guy from, I think the Dutch, I think he was half Dutch or something. Anyway, he was hassling, he was arrested for cyberbullying 39 people, including her, and she was one of them. And the mother now goes on tours at these cyberbullying conferences and things like that. Let's see. Anyway, Amanda Todd. So it's sad, but that bit, yeah, here's another sad thing about our society. The Amanda Todd video now still only has 12 million videos, and the apology video from Logan, whatever the hell his name is, I can't remember his name, Logan Paul, has 15 million views in 2 days. We as a society are the problem, and we like to point the finger because it's convenient. But it's really not his fault. He's just, we created Logan Paul. And we could, say, fuck you, Logan Paul, your video is gone, your channel is gone, you're going to be erased, and we could destroy him. But he would just be replaced in a year with someone else who does the same exact thing or even worse. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any solution about that. How do you get people to stop watching him? That's the only thing you can really do. Just stop watching. And that's why I don't really. My opinion again about Trump was that he's kind of we elected a troll. And what do you do with trolls? You block them, or you just ignore them. So that's what I do mostly about Trump now. I basically try not to let him worry me too much, and I try to avoid anything that has Trump to do with Trump, because he's basically trolling. I mean, today in Japan, in the Japanese newspaper, the quote was, Trump's quote was, "I have a bigger nuclear button than you do." I mean, that's the kind of ridiculous president we have right now. So. So I just, yeah, it's impossible to block him out of your life, but I just try to think of him as he's trying to troll me. So I'm not going to let him bother me. The same thing with Logan Paul. I've seen, of course, I know him from Vine, and I just thought he's a stupid kid. And he's slightly amusing, but that was it. But is he really hurting the world? Not really. We are hurting the world. And we created these idiots. And we help them. So we've got to do something about the young people today. I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. I think this is going to sound stupid, or I think reading really helps. I think if people just read more books and literature, it would maybe help them cultivate nuance and understanding and sympathy and be able to empathize with each other. Because when you're alone and you're reading a book, you have to think about that person who wrote the book and his ideas, and they touch you, with those words. Anyway, Kimmy, I don't know who Kimmy is. That's all I got to say. But yeah, Trump and Kim are trolling each other. But Kim, yeah, what can you say about that? They're both, you kind of expect it from Kim, North Korea, right? But is that racist? I don't know. Okay, that's all I got to say for tonight. I just wanted to get this off my chest. There's a bunch of links in the description. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone who did join me today. I do want to do a talk on blackface, but I'm hoping I'll get back to my house, my real computer, because I'm using a tiny little laptop right now and filming in the kitchen of my in-laws' house. So I do have some real thoughts on that too, and we'll get to that next time. But anyway, everyone, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, and I hope you guys have a great one. And well, I guess I'll pay attention to this Logan thing. But yeah, in Japan, it's not that big a deal. It was the top news story for about 1 hour, and then when I checked it an hour later, I couldn't even find it on the top page anymore. So it had scrolled down, at least on Yahoo. So I think honestly, it's hard to make people care about things that they just don't care about. And I think generally speaking, the Japanese don't necessarily care about this story that much. But I could be wrong, and maybe tomorrow it'll be back again. So we'll see. All right. Okay, guys. I'm going to say goodnight and get to sleep. Talk to you guys soon. Happy New Year. Yeah, it's 2:54 a.m., so I got to go sleep. How do I turn this off? Let me see. I don't even know. I got to hit the certain. I got to close this. Okay, here. Good night. Peace out.